We are underneath my desk today because I have severe mental health issues. I was never discharged from the hospital. I broke out and I lied. I got a little wine stain on my shirt. That's cool. Does anyone else ever have panic attacks every single time that they go into a bathroom? I feel like they're always too big or too small to a cosmically horrifying level. Yes, I take photos of you while you sleep. Yes, I'm in your house right now. Yes, you should look behind you more often. Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir is a French baby show where two teenagers are secretly superheroes. In every episode, they fight a new villain of the week. And by the end of the episode, they've redeemed the villain and solved all their problems with their magic. It's also the only reason I'm still alive. And most of the critical discourse online about Miraculous, people say stuff like, oh, Miraculous, my favorite garbage. You ungrateful bars of soap. That's the kind of thing that Kingdom Hearts fans get to say. That's the kind of right reserved for people that watch Supernatural to the bitter end.
The heartless obey me now, Sora. Now I have nothing to fear.
You're stupid!
Miraculous is not a mess, it's genius and we don't deserve it. I'm proselytizing about the existence of this show specifically to convert people to watch it, so no spoilers for this whole video. The only outlet I have to stand this show, the only people I'm in community with are star investigative journalist Linda Lee Rose, who's done excellent behind-the-scenes content with the creators.
We're gonna be going into Zag Studios and seeing all the secrets of the new Nickelodeon show, Miraculous.
I help writers to make them come alive, and so design-wise and story-wise.
That's cool.
And then there's just TikTok Miraculous cosplayers, because there's a very robust TikTok Miraculous fandom, but it's just that I don't understand what you're doing. I want you to be very happy, very far away from me. Part 1, but it's a baby show. I know it's a baby show. I just think you're a baby. Since when are you above watching children's television? I know what you watch on YouTube. Not all of it is as high octane as my content. Some of it is trash. So instead of rewatching the same 3 seasons of The Office again, you basic uncreative fuck, watch Miraculous. Season 1 of Miraculous starts off like a baby show. It feels like a baby show. It stays like a baby show. It's kind, it's funny, it's cute, it's sweet, it's moral, it's everything that your mom thought you were before you disappointed her. Solid storytelling is solid storytelling. You should watch excellent kids TV. You gain nothing from categorically writing off an entire genre. Maybe you deserve to watch a wholesome show with strong moral lessons. Maybe you deserve simplicity. Maybe you deserve to feel good. Stop crying. Why are you crying? The more art you expose yourself to, the more powerful you become. This is a calculus I'm using to try to become God. Part 2, emotional abuse. Yeah, bet you weren't expecting that to be part 2. The way the show works is Butterfly Man evil. Catboy and Ladybug are good. Butterfly Man uses shadow powers to capitalize on your emotional trauma, leading you to a heightened destructive interpretation of your valid pain, using your energy to create more destruction rather than healing. Emotional Abuse Man does emotional abuse to people, and it gets way darker than you think it would. You know, it's kind of evil if I like it, because I am Satan. Let's remake Metal Gear Solid, but Solid Snake has Mickey Mouse's voice. That's the only difference. Why haven't we put out the sun yet? Wait, I got distracted. One of the central conceits of the show is how abuse works and how do we respond to it. This theme is embodied by several characters. The main one obviously being the super bad big butterfly guy with the cane at his side. Also, our main cat boy, Adrian Agreste, has a really strained relationship with his father, and we watch the pain that his father is constantly putting him. Really, Adrian is clinically depressed.
Gotta go. Photo shoot.
But also, they love each other, so they are trying to connect on some level. They won't stop trying to connect, and so we know it's evil, but also we're kind of rooting for them, because that's how abuse works more often than not. We don't normally have a Twitter gun to end people's lives. We have to negotiate with real people and how they hurt us, but also we care about them. Which brings us to the ultimate abuse case study of this show, Chloe Bourgeois. This bitch, the main problem with Chloe is that she's white. We stan Chloe because she's hilarious, and we hate her because she's the worst. In Season 1, Chloe fulfills the archetype of school bully. She's just needlessly cruel to everyone.
Anyway, all that stuff about compliments and love, ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. This girl's got no heart.
Unhinged, petty, cruel, vain, selfish, indulgent. She's like me. In Season 1, Chloe has some social capital, but by Season 3, her destructive, toxic behavior has made everyone just kinda hate her.
You're not gonna let her get away with this. That girl is worse than Hawkmoth. At least half the city has gotten akumatized because of her.
The only people who eternally stand by Chloe are her most intimate victims, of which there are 2. First is her emasculated father, Mayor Bourgeois, who's so eager to please Chloe, and all he wants to do is love her and receive love for her, and she withholds affection and just berates him and abuses this fact and manipulates his need for her approval so that he can do horrifying abuses of power with his position. She fucks with him constantly to get what she wants wants, no matter how petty the desire, and without any regard for him as a person, and he just takes it. She has no respect for her father. I actually don't think she even loves her father. At the very least, she doesn't engage in the act of love, the behavior of love. She doesn't do love. And then she has her best friend, Sabrina, who is so cooked as a battered housewife, it is hard to watch. I just spilled wine everywhere. Sabrina is 100% loyal to Chloe. Her lifestyle is just serving Chloe's desires and getting punched in the face by her emotionally constantly.
Seriously, what are you good for?
The best case study of their relationship and the psychology behind it is in the episode Eve Illustrator, where Sabrina actually becomes friends with somebody else instead of Chloe for a brief time. As a result, we get to see what Sabrina thinks friendship is, and her impulse is just immediately to become extremely clingy and to idolize this new person, and she does their homework for them without asking.
I did your geography homework.
Whoa, you didn't have to do that.
Well, since you're my new best friend, it's the least I can do.
Thanks, but I just can't.
Really?
And you start to get the picture that this is what she thinks love is just expecting to be insulted and destroyed constantly, and when someone isn't mean to her, she takes that as affection. Cruelty is her standard, and by the end of the episode, she runs right back into Chloe's arms, and we as the audience, as well as the people around her in her sociological setting, need to kind of accept that she's committed to this, and this is what she understands to be happiness. It's the only way she can process the world at this time.
Chloe, your geography homework's ready.
Hey!
And this is all done with purpose. The show has a mission in what it might teach kids. Most people in this universe are extremely kind to each other regardless of background. They celebrate their differences, and they're not limited by their social standing or archetype. Like the geek and the jock are best friends for no reason. It doesn't require explanation. But then there's some characters that are just toxic by nature. It's what they know. The show deals with this like you have to deal with it in real life. It's a complicated issue with no clear solutions. We can't just round up people we don't like and shoot them in the back of the head, unless, of course, it's Twitter. And the way that Chloe destroys her life and is really a sad person, and you see this many times, you start to wonder, how is this even possible? How can someone be that cruel and not at some point get that they need to change? Until, after a long time, you meet her mom, and it looks like this.
Audrey Bourgeois! I can't believe Gabriel allows his staff to drive like that.
And neither do I.
You spend a lot of time in New York. It must be nice to be with your family for a change here in Paris.
She's very happy to see me. By the way, Mom, I have a little something for you.
Chloe, what is this?
That's really sad. The cycle of abuse is just running down the family chain. There's no quick fix for that.
It's not her fault, okay? Chloe just doesn't like birthdays. She never remembers them, just like her mom.
Here's a quote from Melanie Duval, one of the writers that talks about this.
We are sensitive to the impact of pop culture on young people. We are very careful not to show in the series things that could have a bad influence on their imagination. I remember having hated this figure given here or there to the class nerd abused by his comrades. In Miraculous, we have the sportsman, the nerd, the good friend, the plague, but nobody is abused. We show the kind of idea where the big sporty can be the best friend of the intellectual. And in the face of a negative character like Chloe, the question is not going to be how to make her nice, but rather how to react to her.
Anyways, yeah, this is deep shit. Part 3, representation. Some of you may have noticed, I'm not white. As a result of this, I've been not white most of my life. And as you may have heard from some rather ungrateful demographics, being not white can affect you. One of those impacts is growing up as a young Indian boy and fantasizing about becoming an actor, but realizing that I'm less likely to be cast as the lead in a rom-com than I am to be terrorist number 6. So I have a stake in representation and diversity in media on a psychological, personal level, but also ideologically, I just think it's objectively the way to go for 2 reasons. Firstly, from a humanistic political perspective, the only way to truly break down prejudice is exposure to a demographic that you might have preconceived notions about. Am I making sense? Ow! The world will be a better place when more kinds of people are exposed to more kinds of people. We have to interrupt the assumed standards. I feel like a small monkey. The second reason I care about representation is from an artistic perspective. Bringing new people into creative spaces means more perspectives, better stories. It means new stories. It expands the artistic landscape. It allows us to progress further in a medium. I care more about art than I care about people. I mean, I would kill people. People are awful, and they're all gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die soon. I hope I don't die. I'm afraid of it. And I know when I do, I'm going to be eaten by cats. Eaten by cats. Eaten by cats. The main character, Miraculous, is the titular ladybug, whose civilian name is Marinette Dupencheng. She's half Chinese and half Parisian. And you heard it right. The French part of her last name is literally just the French word for bread. Marinette bred Chang, and we don't shy away from a Chinese culture. We don't shy away from anyone's culture. They celebrate the differences, and it's all informed and well done. There's all sorts of body types in this show. There's all sorts of skin colors in this show. There's different languages spoken. Miraculous has brown-skinned Creole queens. It has femme bitches in love with goth bitches. It's got gamers. All of the races. The diversity in the show doesn't draw attention to itself. It doesn't have to be the way that it is, but it just is. It's not praxis, it's not the revolution, but it's good and I like it. It's refreshing. It's like a fresh squeeze of lemon in the eye. What? Part 4, world building. There's a phrase I use to define a characteristic that my favorite pieces of world building have in common. No character left behind. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, no character left behind. Lelouch the Rebellion, no character left behind. Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, no character left behind. Every single character introduced into a narrative, no matter how small and incidental, holds the capacity for elaboration. This is the joy of world building. The greatest world building standard in all of storytelling, the ultimate high watermark that every single universe is trying to imitate when it tries to do world building, is real life. Because in our reality, every single person has a backstory, every single person has a function in society. People are deep and everything is interconnected. When I was a child, I wished Pokemon were real so bad it gave me depression. I was thoroughly bummed out that I would never experience this universe inside of my Game Boy Color in my lifetime. Why do Bionicles get to live on cool islands with cool names and fire swords while I have to have a panic attack in the grocery store? But here's the cure for that thought. If I lived in the Pokemon world, I wouldn't have any rap music. Any of the rap music I like, all gone. Your favorite movie, gone. Your mom, gone. Also, not for nothing, our society would be based on the exploitation of animals en masse. Oh, fuck. That is our reality. The point is, our universe is magic. If we lived in the Pokemon universe, then we would look at this reality we currently exist in as if that was something to fantasize about. Like music. Wiggly air make your brain go burr? That's fucked up. Reading is just staring at a piece of wood with hieroglyphics and hallucinating. Tell me that doesn't make you want to kill yourself. So, stories with the no character left behind ethos are stories that capture the imagination due to their optimization of their fictional world. It resembles ours the way that everything is connected. You decide on some principles that differ their universe from our universe, and then you create some characters, you put them in there, and then you let them all follow themselves to their logical conclusions. The mark of a cohesive and complete piece of art is when all the pieces are aware of all the other pieces and everything is in conversation with each other. That's optimization. That's the joy of world building. Miraculous, god tier world building. Amazing. Everyone's got a place. Because of the conceit of the show and the villain of the week style, everyone gets shadow butterflied into a supervillain at some point, which means that we get a little mini character study on people and their trauma, no matter how incidental they are. The show just doesn't forget about characters. It just doesn't want to. It keeps bringing them back in interesting ways. Even the Pigeon Man! The Pigeon Man!
Oh, dreary day, poor Parisians. Roo! Roo!
The most difficult thing about getting people into this show is getting them through season 1. Many have tried to go through the Miraculous episode list and pick out the plot important ones and take out the quote-unquote filler, but it's impossible because every scrap of information, no matter how basic, gets brought back in an interesting way. Season 1 and its repetition and its simplicity is the groundwork for building something complex and beautiful. By the time you're in season 3, the way that the world building's ramped up, you start to wonder if children could even keep up with it. But I suspect they can because children aren't stupid, and also the repetition that is baked into the structure of the show reinforces our understanding of the laws of the universe. Part 5, repetition. In Miraculous Ladybug, every single time a superhero puts on their suit or uses their power, we get the exact same animation with the same musical stinger played again and again and again. The main thing that this does is it saves the creators a lot of money, but because they're geniuses, it's also used creatively. You see, the inevitable way you start to interact with this ritual that occurs multiple times every episode is you learn the words and sing along passionately. No more evil doing for you, little Akuma. Time to de-evilize! Gotcha! Bye-bye, little butterfly. Miraculous Ladybug!
Thank you for keeping your promise, milady.
We are a team, aren't we?
Pound it. It's interactive, on purpose. It's fun. We're having fun.
day today. What was your favorite part?
I only remember feeling completely alone. Empty. Just endless nothingness.
I liked that too.
The hyper-repetition breeds hyper-familiarity. It gives us the space to breathe, and it cements our thorough understanding for exactly how things work. This is necessary for how intense the power interaction gets later on. The way the show structurally starts is with no origin story, just breakneck into the action, but you can start to infer the rules and the nature of everything because of this repetition, because the show's smart. And then, way deep into season 1, you finally do get a 2-part origin story, and it's able to be nuanced and great because it doesn't actually have to explain stuff to us. It can just be interesting instead. And then when you finally start delving into the lore, bro, shit don't stop. I can't overstate how good the magic system is. It's fucked good. I'm serious. If you like Full Metal Alchemist, you have to watch the show.
Lucky Charm!
Also, the convention and our intimacy with it makes any break from it exhilarating. So when they start to push powers farther or they make comedic interruptions to what we know and love, it's adrenaline, really. Also, the final bit on repetition is it's so funny how the ultimate big bad butterfly guy with the cane at his side, he somehow justifies having a topical monologue at the end of every single episode. They're like, oh, you got me this time, but one day I will defeat you. He's lost like hundreds, if not thousands of times, and he always gives the monologue.
Wretched pigeons, wretched ladybug, I'll destroy every one of you. You don't scare me, ladybug. I know I'll destroy you in the end. Someday, somehow, I'll destroy you! No!
One of these days, I'll find out who Ladybug and Cat Noir really are.
Someday, your Miraculous will be all mine. Blasted ladybug! Blasted Valentine's Day!
Like, motherfucker, I appreciate the tenacity and your belief in yourself, but at some point, it's just a matter of humility and self-awareness to be like, I lose every time. Maybe I just shouldn't do that monologue. Part conclusion. Watch it. Stop not watching it. Do not be not watching it now. I didn't spoil anything about the show because I love you. I'm the only one that loves you. My love for you gives you value. Psych, bitch, I'm a specter on the internet. I don't know you exist. Give me money. Power through the first season and appreciate it for what it is. An excellent interactive baby show. Surprisingly sweet, nuanced, and funny. And then when you get to the real deep shit and it starts playing its actual pieces, it's going to be a great cinematic experience. And if you're a cool degenerate that still needs a little bit of convincing, I have personally developed the ultimate drinking game for this watching experience. I've been fine-tuning this. This is perfect. This is definitive. Don't trust any other list online. I'm built different. I've cracked the code. Get out your bottle of wine and drink. Every transformation.
Flag, claws out!
Every power usage.
Cataclysm!
Every time Hawkmoth's window opens. Every time the Eiffel Tower inexplicably becomes central to the conflict.
So what now?
Let's take Chloe to the top of the Eiffel Tower. There'll be less zombies up there.
Every time Adrian mopes about his abusive absentee father.
Father?
Every... What am I supposed to do with this?
What am I supposed to do with this? Make tea?
And every pound it. This is how I'm currently spending 5 out of 7 nights a week. This is normal. I shaved my head at 4 a.m. I know you're thinking about not watching the show. You enjoyed the video essay and you're like, okay, that was great, but I'm not gonna watch the show. Watch the show. I know where you live. I know who you are. My arms are detachable. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive where my heart should be. I can prove the existence of God. I choose not to every single day to fuck with scientists. Watch Miraculous. Ow.
I think I'm an addict, want the world and I'ma have it. I'm so fucking dramatic, got all my bones up in the attic and I dance them all around like a marionette.
On screen currently is, wait, my earring's fucked. On screen currently are the names of my patrons. You might be looking at this list and thinking to yourself, why is everyone on this list so much more fuckable than me? The reason is because their name's on the list and yours isn't. You have to give me money if you want your life to have value. Patreon is an excellent platform because it allows you to support creators and fund the work that they do. For example, if a creator was marathoning Miraculous and spilled wine on their laptop keys and the laptop started slowly shutting down, so they took it into Apple for diagnostics and then they said, you're gonna need a full top case replacement. It's gonna cost 530 Great British pounds, which translates to approximately 937 Canadian. And then that creator mapped out their finances over the next 3 weeks and their income and what they're spending, and they realized they're probably going to have to ask their mom to borrow $200, which is really bad because their mom's going to be mad because this is not the first time this has happened. Patreon would help that person if that were happening.